Welcome back to the GLAC Studios oil painting tutorial. This is Gomati Sivasankaran and we are in class 6 of the Dhana Lakshmi painting. Dhana Lakshmi is one of the 8 forms of Lakshmi avatars that are known for all the positive propensities of life, and Dhana refers to wealth. So this is the goddess of wealth, abundance and such. So there's so much about this painting that we are also twisting around, isn't it? Where we have used the image of a little girl, and yeah, we have tried to twist this painting around to show diversity as such. This is one of the 8 forms of paintings that you are seeing. There are other 7 paintings also that you can find in tutorial format. And we have completed the layers 1, 2 and 3 for this painting. So let's quickly go over what we did. Layer 1 on the canvas was a wash, which we covered in the basics sessions. And then layer 2 was blocking and filling. But before blocking and filling, that's exactly where we did the planning and execution of the idea using grid lines. The grids were done, and then we did the blocking or filling. The blocking and filling was just like child's play, just filling in colors in those spaces. But then in layer 3, we started building a little bit of contrast in color with what is dark versus what is light. Now it's sort of showing where things are going to be, but there is a lot to go over this again. Yes, there's a lot to work on, which means we have to build what is depth. And for depth, what goes hand in hand with depth is detailing as well. So that's going to be a lot of depth and detailing coming up in this session. See that when we work on the details, we will not be working in the speed that we worked on in the previous layers. This time we will be slowing down a bit, focusing on each and every ounce of detailing, and doing it step by step. For the depth and detailing, we are going to kickstart working on the face and her body coloring in the nuances. And then we will move on to, and also we'll work on the hair, because stage we also need to start working on the hair to see how the overall look is coming up. Yeah. So to start with, we will have some colors to work on. I have vermilion, yellow ochre with me. I need a little bit more of permanent yellow, which I do have here, but I need a more of it. Crimson is here. I think I mixed a couple of colors to see some variation here. So there are some variation colors that I just created with this, but I will tell you what I do when I do that. Crimson, burnt umber, and ivory black is there. There is a little bit of titanium white sitting in the corner. That is enough. So that's about the colors. And in terms of the brushes, I'm going to use a flat brush one, and there is a round brush one. There is a brush 0, a 000, and also a couple of micro brushes that I will use. I think I will stick to them because there's a lot of detailing coming up, and I will not be needing large brushes. If I do, I will let you know. So with that, let's start the work. So in today's session, the focus is going to be on her face and hands, isn't it? So I'm just going to have the picture around with me so that I could remember what exactly we were working on. So let's build the skin tone and the coloring. I had built some skin tones, like I said, for other pictures as well, but I know that this is not the color that we will expect, except for the very light, the shades where there is really light catching. So what I did to come up to this color was a mixture of a little bit of yellow ochre, primary yellow, and slight bit of crimson, mostly primary yellow, and then I added titanium white a little bit, and then built this color. But I don't need this color much. I'm going to create another tonality here, fresh for you. Before that, let me fill in the missing primary yellow or permanent yellow in my palette. There's one thing I want to highlight at this stage. Starting now, we will use titanium white only to complement to a certain extent of the colors that we are, you know, using. We try to use less and less of titanium white because that is an amazing color. It helps fill things up faster, but at the same time, it tones down the real colors, the real shades that we are trying to build. So, sporadically use it in parts to see where it really deserves to be used, and try to avoid it. So, with that, let's kickstart mixing colors. I'm taking yellow ochre and, permanent yellow. Boldly taking a lot of it, as I can see that there will be a need of it for this color tonality. Yes, this is coming out well. I'm going to take a little bit of crimson here to play around. She's got that really blushy tonality, isn't it, in her skin? That is coming up to the almost close to the darker skin tone that we have. I've added a little more of that crimson here. Okay. That is a nice color. It can be lightened a bit, so I'm just adding a tiny bit of titanium white to it to lighten it up a bit. It can be lightened up a bit more. So it's just, I'm just doing it part by part to see if I get to the tonality that is close to it. So I'm not rushing. Do not rush this, yeah? Slow down, because it's very easy to just take a load of white and then everything goes for a toss. And very yellow. Because the white really mellowed down what I wanted. So primary yellow. Yeah, I think I'm convinced with this shade now. So I have this shade, I have a darker shade, I have a very light shade ready. And let's go with this shade, neutral one to use. And remember, we have to work on her frontal, the baby hair also. In a short while from now, actually. So let's do the part where the color goes slightly darker here, under her eyes, over her eyes, and such, under the nose. I'll use that also in her neck. Neckline, yes. Ears. I'll use the skin tone also on her hands. Just quickly going through that. In terms of adjustments, I think I'll have to work a little bit on the hand here because I feel that it is slightly, tinier than the rest of it. So that's one correction I have. And of course, with face, I have a lot to correct, I feel. But of course, it's a process. It will come along. So I keep in mind all these changes because it makes things easier for us when we are sure of all the changes we want to work on. Yeah, I want to take a little bit of this darker tone to just apply in those spaces where there is real good highlight of the skin color here. And okay, going for this here as well, little bit right underneath her eyes and this face. So we can blend that in. Okay, now let's pick up the lighter skin tone and throw that in here in those areas where the light is falling, and also on her chin, cheek line and such. A little bit on this side of her neck, and let's push that also in the hands. Real quick, because we have a lot to work on with details now. Yes. Right. Let's do the nostril spacing, everything. I guess I have at least shaded them. Let's get started with some detailing. Yeah, micro brush. We start with taking a little bit of burnt umber and mixing it with ivory black. Burnt umber, ivory black. This is a color that they're going to rely on for her eyes, eyebrows, and possibly her hair color as well. So let's do this first. So I'm going to work on her eye first, and once that is done, we'll do some detail. So I'm doing the iris pupil area first. Yeah. And I'm going for that thin upper eye line. Yes. I'm not doing the eyelashes yet. Yeah. So I'm working towards the very thin under eye line as well, that is going inside like this, and I'm just drawing the thin line that is defining the eyelid as well. Let's do the same on the other. The iris pupil section and the curve of the eye. Yes, and then the under eye line. Be very gentle with that. It's the under eye line is not so thick. Yeah. So I think we've got that. We have got the key lines here. Huh? So that is the eye line. Let's do the eyelids contour line in here, leave it there. Let's work on using this shade further in the nostril area. Okay, I see that I have used it more than I needed here, and I'm going to adjust it also in a short while. So that's one. I will need that in the in other sections as well, but not right away. I'm going to start blending in things. Yeah, for that I will now move to brush 0 away from the micro brush to start first blending in colors here. Whatever we have already here, we have 3 different types of colors that we added here to just accentuate and show the shade. Let's do that. And I'm working on the space where the eyebrow is as well, because we will work on the eyebrow when we come to the close of this. I'm trying to merge things around first. Seeing how this pans out. So right now, I want to work on her nostrils. So I'm just taking the lighter shade that I used to highlight this section of her nostril here. And then this slightly darker shade to take it up here on this side of the nostril. Blend that in. Now let's blend, taking wantedly a slight bit of burnt umber and mixed with the crimson, the darker shade. I'm going to throw that in here wantedly in the angle where I want to show those, eye sockets and such. I'm throwing in this color boldly, directly with a 0 brush. Slightly here on the cheek area as well. I am throwing it in this section because that's where the hair is going to be. The baby hair is going to come. So I've added this color. Now I'll wipe off the excess from my brush and start blending this color in. And it's ever so lightly blended in. Then it starts showing up as that, that is what is the nose bridge that is coming up, really. Blend this in under the eye and over the eye so that forms the angles for the eyebrow and also the nose bridge. Now it starts working. Now we blend the cheeks. This is really a very, very light tone that I have added. So I'm just blending in that also along the skin tone here. Blending that also here in this cheek. We don't need that much light here. I can see. So I'm just going to take another pinch of the skin color to blend that in here. Works. Yes, I think we need to start giving some contours of her face as well. But before that, I'm just fixing that neckline as well a little bit. So let's take the micro brush again. A little bit of that burnt umber and crimson shade. That will be a safer shade to use as a contour now. So I'm working on this contour of her chin, cheek, and bringing that down to her chin, taking it up slightly. Okay, that really changes the game here because that angle was needed. Okay, so that was the corrections that I wanted to change. So I'm taking the lighter shade now of the skin color to blend it in ever so lightly here. So that it doesn't look like I've manually added the color here. Blending it in ever so lightly. Yes, it is beginning to show some angle. I want to cut off that space that is not right by using a little bit of black here to just remove that from the picture, and then I'm wiping off the brush all the time to go back to using the burnt umber and crimson here in the neck area. Yeah, and use the zero brush to blend things in. The shape comes out. Her nostrils needs to be sharpened a little bit, so which means the color that we used here needs to be moved a little bit here. So that works. So what is missing right now, what's not helping us much, is that we don't have her frontal, baby hair. So that is really that, and the eyebrow is not helping us, to see what we have done. So I think it is time that we start giving that also in. Sometimes really we might have to prioritize based on what we are able to see as well. I haven't worked on the ears because I think it's all the part of this whole thing. I'm going to use, I'm thinking of brush number, I must have brush 0 here, yes. That is good for the hair. The hair color, we have created it, isn't it? We took burnt umber and ivory black and mixed it to form this color that is close to black but not exactly black. And I did, I think I talked about it also in previous sessions. So we just make sure that we don't do the direct ivory black all the time. So I'm just giving that. Hair color isn't directly ivory black. Most of the time it's a blend of color tonalities, and definitely shades also play a strong role there. So I'm doing that. When it comes to the ear, I want to adjust that ear spacing also further. Bring this down. Working on the neck space, the hair right behind. I'm not doing the baby hair yet, but we are going to be there in that zone very soon. Yes. So ready for the baby hair strokes? Right now, I'm going to use my micro brush to go for the baby hair strokes. Remember, the zone is wet, so it's going to take up some of the colors from what we have done. So this decides that this is the part where the partition starts. So this is the part where the solid hair is tight behind her back, and this line has to be left a little bit to show the skin very minutely, and then we get started with the small hair locks. Doing the strokes in bunches. If you want, you can use, I'm going to use a little bit of the zero brush also to go for some bunches, and then I will use the smaller ones as well. So curve below. Hmm. Really want to understand where the hair is stopping, these baby hairs are stopping. I'm just marking those stopping points. I think I have drawn those, overall strokes ready to go for the thin ones. I'm gonna use some raw burnt umber strokes also to combine, and then go for the black strokes as well. Ivory black mixed burnt umber strokes. It's really a lot of minute detailing that starts, from this layer 4. So take it slow and steady. There's no point hurrying this. Slow and steady, and then in the beginning it looks like less number of strokes, but then you can build on that again and again with the range of colors also. Now I'm going to use a little bit of ivory black also to strengthen some of those sections. Now we use this ivory black and burnt umber mixture also to work a little bit on the eyebrows. Remember, the eyebrows are not straight lines there. It's really small, small, tiny, tiny hair that is building in. So do that. Make use of tiny spots to show hair and some, thin strokes to show, the bunch of hair as well. Coming back, so we have a kind of structure now. We need to work on some more detailing, her ears and also her lips. Let's get started with the lips first. I'm taking the burnt umber and crimson mixture for the lip line, and we can use skin color to lighten it instead of titanium white. The lip spacing all done. I'm going to use the skin color to lighten it up a little bit. Also here underneath. Use the lighter version of the skin color to add and highlight this around. I am going to take, because we need to now show some things like the darker space. That's why I'm taking black to build in that space between her teeth. So also everything is happening in the with the help of a micro brush. Keep that in mind. There you go. The spacing is adjusted a little bit. The shading is adjusted a little bit with skin color, a little bit more of the skin color here, so it doesn't look totally dark there. There you go, we have that. And then we can actually make it slightly darker here in this cheek line. And also bringing it down here underneath. And we can blend that in, isn't it? So we take zero brush to blend it in. So So now the focus goes back to her nostrils again. I have to blend in that highlights that I did. I think it is all done here. Yes, now let's focus on her ears again. Taking the darker skin color a little bit here, showing that here. Lighter one goes behind and yeah. And then a darker shade throws in. The same way, shading goes here. You need to use the black from the hair to fade that shading here, because we need to show that the hair is also coming along that section, accentuating. Her ears are really, in a way, not too big, but really visible. So we need to give it accentuated a little more, using slightly darker tones here. Let's take burnt umber also to play with. Yes. And I need a tiny bit of the skin tone here to adjust in the neck area. There we go. The chin again. Let's do a little bit of highlighting in the ear. Not too much, a tad bit of it. That helps it. So her face looks a little better, but it needs further refinement. I'm taking some titanium white to give that glow here on her nostrils and this cheek. And add that highlight there. Slightly better. We need to work one more layer of her frontal hair. Yeah, it looks less. Before that, I want to use that darker tonality to shape up the ear, because that's where the hairline is and such. Okay, here as well. Shaping it up helps. Then let's work on the frontal hair again. The baby hair again. Doing some more strokes. We will have more strokes coming in our next, the next layer as well, but if we can have as much as possible done in this layer, then it really helps in accentuating, yeah, and attempting more in the next upcoming, layer. Just trying to shift that into those locks of hair, the blocks of hair that are together. The ones that are curved here. Yes. I guess she has yeah, almost what we want. Right bit of accentuation here in the cheek, the chin, under the lip, highlighting. Okay, we need to darken a little bit under her nostrils. Do that. Mm-hmm. Mm. Working on her nostrils again, shading them around. Mm-hmm. Some more of the skin color, go here. Mm. Yes, so whatever I've done, I think I've done using the lighter shades. I want to add a little bit of crimson to go in the lip area, in the front. Mm. Now I see that it's not that big, so I'm just lightening it up here on the cheek, and this angle also can be just a bit, then it fits in. Back to the sections. Okay, underneath the eye, we just need a very, very thin white highlight here going underneath, right here. And let's do that same thing on the eyelid area also, that could be highlighted a little more. Like I said, we're not doing the eyelashes yet. Yeah. Okay, I think she looks ready. Mm-hmm. Kind of ready. There are still details to work through, but I think she is okay now. I need some more colors that are slightly lighter, so I'm just going for a yellow ochre base to throw in this, section to give a contrast, and also a little bit of this uh, vermilion mixed yellow ochre base, ever so lightly in that hair strands. That will mix anyways with the black and the burnt umber that we have relied on before. So just to give another angle there. And I'll also throw that in the section of the hair that is behind. Yeah. Hmm. I guess we can make a stop with the focus on the face and move on to the rest of the sections. Just accentuating a little bit on the ear now. Mm, and here, yes. Okay, so let's move on to the hands now. Yes, focusing on the hands, the thing that we are going to do to speed up the process is to take what we mixed with the burnt umber and crimson, the combination that we had really works well here as contours so for us to work on and adjust things, and then we can start blending them in. This is where I said that the hand has to be adjusted a little more. I'm just going to make the length of that finger slightly, 1 pinch bigger. The thumb looks okay, but the other fingers don't. Um, a slight increase will help, I guess. Not too much, a slight increase will help. Hmm? Mm, nearly there with these two hands, now focusing on the contours. Yeah. So let's move on to the other two hands as well. Just I can bring this down a bit. Mhm. Okay. One good learning from this, exercise is that this particular cloth is different. I think we discussed it in the basics sessions that there are cloths or canvases that come with another color tonality and such, and it helps. So this is the one that had that, and I feel that it is still different from the ones that I have used. It it might take more layers sometimes. It looks like the way I'm filling in, I feel like I'm filling in a little more than I would not naturally do. You know why? I just wanted to share that thought here. Okay, cool. So now we are going to blend in these colors. Use the skin color also to blend in a little bit in that section together with the crimson whatever burnt umber that we have used. So blending happens a little easily. You can use a larger brush to blend also. I mean larger meaning for me the larger one in this case is a brush number 1 basically. So I'm blending in the sections where the arms are. Okay, I guess this is, these two arms are done, and now I'll focus on this two and then come back to the hands. Need the skin color here to blend things. So I've been having a sore throat, so excuse me for that. Um, but you know, for me, when you are slightly ill, the only medicine is painting. So I cannot stop. Mhm. Yes, the hands are, the arms are done. We need to work on the fingers and such. So I'm going to go back to using a smaller brush 0000, blending in ever so lightly. Adding skin colors wherever needed, a little more. Throwing in highlights in some places where it needs. Mm-hmm. Such highlighting. Yeah. One hand down. Let's move on to the other here. This is where I said I am adjusting also, isn't it? So I'm just gonna take a bit more of the skin color to add here. Slightly increasing the length of it here. Okay, better, I guess. Mm. Yes. So I need the skin color to go here in some places. Hmm. Let's move on to the other two hands. Okay. Last but not the least, the hand here holding lotus flower. Mm-hmm. Guess we can make a stop here with respect to the shading of um, the skin tone. Picked up that crimson color here to accentuate this section. Mm-hmm. Down. Cool. Let's make a stop with this, and then we will meet up in the next session where the focus will be on the clothing and the flowers and all these elements. Except for the jewelry, we'll have one separate session for the jewelry, and that's when we'll be done with layer 4. So layer 4 kind of kickstart with a lot of detailing for you right now. It could be overwhelming. Take it step by step. Take it really nice and easy until we meet in the next session. First, remember to stay motivated. And for that, yes, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated, stay curious. Let's meet up in the next session and do some more of layer 4. Yeah. Bye bye.